Well, welcome back to the phonics portion of our day. So, of course, we're going to bing, bang, boom, uh, letters and sounds. We're going to review our 32 sight words, work on make believe words. Remember, when we come back the first week in January, we will be tested on beginning sound or first sound. We'll be tested on letter sounds, we'll be tested on phoneme seg, which is breaking up the sounds in a word, and we'll also be tested on the make believe words. Okay, so today we're going to test on, well, not test, but we're going to practice them as if there's three different ways that you can do it, friends. Okay, say for example, if you just know this word, don't spend time sounding it out, just read it. So just say beck. Okay, if you're good with sounding out and knowing how to read a word, you could do beck, beck. Or if you don't even know what the word is, but you know the sounds, then you just do beck and then move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to practice it in three different ways. Beck, peb, if, vith, was, was, ok, de, of, et, ix, maz, of, lux, sub, as, tas, is, his, eb, of, ik, zox, fap, up, zop, ik, if, jif, of, egg, gag, hin, back. All right, so parents, if you understand what I'm saying, fantastic. If you don't, send me a reminder if you need more explanation as to what I'm meaning. We want our scholars to do a good job and not to be nervous or worried about it. So yeah, so if you need a little bit more explanation, I am here to help you. All right, so let's go ahead and do letter and sound, and we're gonna bam. Okay. All right, so here we go. T, C, K, I, E, F, good job, B, J, A, N, V, P, G, L, R, O, Q, Z, S, U, X, H, D, W, Y, K, K. Now, for our sounds, our benchmark is 40 sounds in 1 minute. So it's a good idea that everybody practice their letter sounds. Practice it at home, set a 1 minute timing. Okay, you have to have at least 40 sounds in 1 minute. Bam. Okay, it goes by really, really quickly. Right, let's go ahead and do phoneme seg, because this is also a part of our assessment. Remember, phoneme seg is they're going to tell us a word and you just tell them the sound. So for example, if the word is pale, p-a-o, go, g-o, gum, g-m, bump, b-m, blob, b-o-b, kim, k-i-m, cup, k-up, say, s-a, shoe, sh-oo, spice, sp, ice, sleep, sleep, bride, b-r-i-d, hot, ot, foot, ut, high, I, bake, b-ake, stick, st-ick, and that's how it will be. Okay, first sound fluency. It'll be, I will say a word, tell me the first sound you hear in the word. So for example, mitten, good, g, Santa, s, reindeer, flag, f, bow, b, clock, k, chair, ch, and so forth. Okay? All right. Lots of stuff that you can practice on Pinterest. I love Pinterest because it's a whole new world for us there, right? Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and practice our sight words. But, many, are, like, this. In the word this, we also have the word his and is. A, me, my, found it Y, with, and in the word with, we also have the word it. Is, how, that. We have hat and we have at. Remember, star E makes the vowel say its sound. Came, from, where, we, of, I, see, come. And look, in the word come, we also have the word me, the. And in the word the, we also have the word he, to, and. We also have the word and. So, now, what? And in the word what, we have the word hat and the word at. Into, and in the word into, we have the word in and the word to. Find, and in the word find, we also have the word in. On, will, and you, and be. Good job there, my friends. That was fantastic. All right, so really quickly, today's story, my friends, it is an informational book, although today's informational book it's got illustrations instead of pictures, but it is going to tell us a story of how Christmas is celebrated in Mexico. And this story, it's written in English and Spanish, but I'm only going to read it in English because if I read it in English and then read the same exact thing in Spanish, it will be like really long, and I don't want you guys like losing sight of what I'm trying to say to you. Okay? All right, so here we go. So this is called Twas Noche Buena. Okay? And it says A Christmas Story in English and Spanish, and it's written by Roseanne Greenfield and illustrated by Sarah Palacios. Now here, these are poinsettias. Poinsettia. My tongue always has a hard time rolling that. Poinsettias. Okay, there you go. And these are beautiful red flowers. I've also seen some that are green. All right, so let's see. This right here is my title page, Twas Noche Buena. Let's see what happens in our story. 'Twas Noche Buena, and all through our casa, casa means house, every creature was kneading tamale masa. For one of our holiday tradiciones, that means traditions, is making tamales, not one, but montones. That means lots of them. Okay, so here they are. Here's the family. There's the mom and the daughter, and they're making tamales. And then here, the whole family is making tamales. Yeah, tamales are made from, it's made out of corn, and it is it's grinded, the corn is grinded down, and you make a masa. Masa is like, it's dough, kind of like a dough, and you spread the masa onto some corn husks, and you add a little bit of red chili to it. Okay, and then you wrap it up and you cook them. I don't know if any of you have ever made tamales. Mrs. Haro is really good at making tamales. Uh, I had a very good teacher who was my mom, and so every uh, Christmas season we make tamales as well. And every last person, both chicas and chicos, that means little boys and girls, is needed to make our tamales taste ricos, that means delicious. We stuff them with pollo, with queso, and meat. Pollo is chicken, so that means they make some of them with chicken, some of them with cheese, and then, of course, with meat. And steam them in corn husks and leaves. What a treat! Everybody is helping do that. Our lovely adornos, that means decorations, are hung up with cheer in hopes that amigos, that means friends, soon will be here. Small figures of wise men, los reyes and sheep. The wise men, reyes means like the kings. Okay, los reyes means the kings. A tiny clay cama, that means a bed, where baby can sleep. In the corner, an árbol that's covered with bells. An árbol is a tree. Twinkling luces, that means twinkling lights. Red ribbons and shells. Okay, so she's talking about the wise men, calls them the los reyes. And then here is the little bed, or she said la cama. Okay. And then over here is the árbol, or the tree. And the blinking luces means the blinking lights. Okay. Right. When our guests all arrive, we stroll down to the park and join the posadas that starts when it's dark. With homemade faroles that glow in the night, we'll sing canciones by soft candle light. Okay. So here they are all gathering so that they can go and do their posadas. Now, posadas is the way you can explain that is it's kind of like when people go Christmas caroling out in front of homes and stuff like that. So that's like what they do, but it's called posadas, okay? But they hold what are called um, faroles, which is like a little lantern, okay? And so they hold those little lanterns while they're walking up and down the street singing Christmas carols, but they call them canciones, which means songs. From casa to casa, parading we go from house to house, remembering stories from days long ago. Le pido posada is our humble plea. Can you offer us shelter, we ask hopefully? The first two houses do not agree, but the very last house will always say sí. So there they go. They're doing their Christmas caroling. See that? But what they do too is there are children that carry like a little makeshift manger. Okay, and they go to a couple of houses and they ask them if there's any room for the baby Jesus, for the mommy, Jesus's mommy and daddy, if there's room for them. And two of the houses say no. And then the third one will always say sí. Will say yes, come on in. Okay? Then back to our family fiesta we race, to snuggle up close by the brick fireplace, and treat all our shivering invited to warm mugs of chocolatey champurrado. Now, champurrado is a type of chocolate, like it's like hot chocolate, but it's a lot thicker, okay? But it is super delicious and it has a little taste of cinnamon. It is so good, friends. We clink our glass marbles and play loteria. That's a game kind of like bingo. While singing and laughing, que maravilla! Que maravilla is like, wow, how marvelous. When out in the jardín, that's a garden, I hear such a clatter. I spring from my silla to shout, what's the matter? Spring from my silla means to spring from her chair. And look, there they are. Here's the loteria card. Okay, so they're playing bingo. Well, it's called loteria. And look up here, it says Feliz Navidad. That means Merry Christmas. Okay. And look at that baby right there. That baby's like, ah! And then she springs out of her silla, out of her chair to see what was the matter, because she heard some kind of clatter out in the jardín, which means the garden. The children are cheering below a great star, a brilliant piñata made out of a jar. Come, Sonia, come, Alma, Luis, and Martin. It is time for our favorite games to begin. Dale, dale. Hit it, they cry. Dale, dale means hit it. Uno, dos, tres. Now it's your try. Uno, dos, tres means 1, 2, 3. A shower of candy soon falls to el suelo. That means a shower of candy soon falls to the ground. We chase after gum and sweet caramelos. Sweet caramel. So there they are. They are hitting that big old piñata right there. You see all of that candy falling out. It's kind of like what my grandson says. See, one time he went to a party and there was a piñata, and I guess they didn't break it. So there was a guy that was kind of like standing up on like a tree so that he can hold it up high. And C says to me, Nana, it was raining candy. I said, raining candy? And he says, yeah. And so I asked his mommy, what does C mean? And that's when she told me that the guy that was standing way up in that tree, he just took the piñata that nobody could break and tipped it over and just started shaking it. And all this candy was coming down. And so, yeah, for back then, I think C was like maybe 3 years old. So for a 3-year-old to see candy coming down like that, it's easy for them to think, oh my, it's raining candy. Yeah. Then off in the distance, campanas chime. That means bells ring, telling us all that it's nearly time. Our mass late at night with candles aglow is a beautiful sight. We sing all our favorite canciones, songs, with choirs of angels up in the balcones, up in the balconies. So there they are at church, okay, and they're singing their songs. And there's Sonia. Okay. So a lot of the Mexicans from Mexico's traditions are similar to those of us who are here. It's just done a little differently. So, like, say, for example, you do Christmas caroling, and then some of you go to what's called midnight mass, which means you go to church at midnight. Mhm. Well, they do the same thing, but they just add a little different traditions to it. Yeah. And when it is over, we get a surprise as colorful fireworks paint the night skies. So there they are. Then there's just a beautiful party of fireworks. Then back to our houses we happily run, knowing our cena has finally begun. Cena means dinner. With pots full of grandmother's steaming pozole and sauce for our turkey, a treat we call mole. So there's all their food. And pozole is a type of like a bean soup, and it has some people put pork in it, others put beef, and they sprinkle like cabbage on top of it. It's really good. And then mole is a type of, it's kind of like a chocolate sort of, but with a little bit of spice in it. And they pour it like over like some chicken, or sometimes they even cook the chicken inside of it. It all depends on how people make it. But it is very, very rich. And just when we've eaten as much as we can, we hear a loud sizzle from grandmother's pan. The children all cheer as they wait for their treat. Buñuelos with cinnamon sugar, so sweet. Okay, and here's the buñuelos. Okay, and buñuelos, friends, they're like a type of, I want to say, kind of sort of like a popover, if you know what a popover is. If not, maybe kind of like, you guys should know what a tortilla is, right? But it's a different type of consistency, because when you fry um, you fry this, and it comes out extremely um, flaky, and you can sprinkle cinnamon on it. Buñuelos are very, very good. And I can tell you that there are some stores that sell them pre-made. Now, of course, they're not going to taste like the ones that are made at home, but I know for sure that Fry's Food and Drugs sells buñuelos in a clear plastic container. You can probably go to like where the bakery area is, and they'll have some there. I think Safeway might have some. Um, Maybe Food City, but I'm not too sure. But I do know for sure that Fry's does, because I brought some for my scholars last year when we read this story, and then we got to taste the buñuelos. So you may want to see if your parents want to buy some so that you can taste it. I mean, I like it. It's pretty good. But then again, I've always eaten them. So to me, it's like normal. But it's a sweet little treat. Okay? With satisfied bellies and sleepy eyes, we head to the sala, that's a living room, for one last surprise. Giggling and cheering, we dash for the tree where regalos are waiting for you and me. Regalos are presents. So there they are. They're ready to go and open their presents. And see here, this little boy, you can tell he's been drinking that champurrada. See? Because he's got, like, instead of a milk mustache, he has a chocolate mustache. We open our cards that were chosen with care, as long strands of cinta, that's a ribbon, fly out everywhere. A smile from papi, that's dad, a kiss from a friend, and many abrazos, those are hugs, that don't seem to end. So everyone is like hugging and kissing and just like probably saying Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Yeah. Now our friends are all tired from fun and fiesta. It's time to go home for a long night's siesta. Merry Christmas, they cheer as they head out of sight. So there they all go. They're leaving for the night. And here's Sonia and her brother. I think they're going upstairs. That baby brother looks so tired. Feliz Navidad, and to all a good night. So there they are. There's the mommy and the daddy, and they've gone to say good night. Even the dog and the cat are sleeping together. See? The end. Now, wasn't that such a sweet little story? I always like to share this story because um, it's part of our tradition to do almost all of those things. And so I think it's really important that we learn about other traditions as well. So, okay, I hope you like that story. And I will see you guys in just a little bit for ELA. Okay, bye, friends.